Not going to be a one club wonder. We're going to start with ball middle. Sternum is on top of the ball, nose on top of the ball. So nose, sternum, ball. Our weight's going to be a little bit forward, and the handle's going to be on top of the ball. So everything is centered from here down, weights forward. So the next step, width of feet. I like to have the feet about 2 club head widths apart to keep consistency. It's going to allow us to have a little bit of a pivot, but also allow us not to make a big swing like we would on full swing with more power. So the next step is get in close. So that's number 3 on my list. It is part of setup. I like this to be very specific. So what I mean by getting close is rather than having the handle sit down like a full swing shot or a pitch shot, we're going to get a little closer to it like this. So it's going to allow the shaft to be more vertical. The shaft more vertical is going to allow the ball to come out lower and run a little bit more. It's also going to allow us to get the shoulders more level at address versus a full swing shot will be more here or tilted. Now having shoulders more level at address is going to allow the club to come down a little bit steeper versus too shallow. On pitch shots we will be a little bit more shallow, but for this, again, it's going to make our strike better. If I have the club sitting more toe down from getting more vertical, it takes a lot of surface area out of the way, so we don't have the heel or the sole getting too much in the way when we're in the rough, especially when we're hitting short shots to a hole that's about 30 feet away. So get in close, shaft is vertical, we feel a little taller, we're gripping down. The next piece is our motion. So I'm going to put our station back together here. So we have this little zone where we're going to put the club. We have our ball position. We have a rod here and here. So this rod, I like to visualize a wall on the toe of the club. The biggest issue on a chip shot or even a pitch shot is getting that club pulled in like this, and then the next step is over or being too much in. What that causes, the heel strikes or the thin shots or the skull shots, creates a lot of inconsistency. So what I like to imagine is that this is a wall right here. The toe of the club is going to work up the wall. And what we're going to notice is that this rod's in the way for a reason, so we don't cross over. So we're going to go up the wall, down the wall, and we'll finish with a little pivot. So the way I like to see the body moving, I'm going to use this again as the wall, is that the torso is just moving the club back like this. It feels like we're just tilting. That's how we're going to take the club up the wall. So whenever someone pulls that club inside, that's usually an arm move that pulls it in away from the ball. So if we're using our torso to make this tilted motion where the shoulder's going down, that's going to take the club up. I'm not even thinking about my arms, they're just hanging here loose. That's my motion here. So we're all going to think, weight's a little left, we're going to tilt, that gets the club up. When we tilt, you actually might feel a little bit more weight into the lead foot, and you might feel your head going forward, which is a good thing. So really on wedge shots, if the head goes forward, that's awesome. The best players are keeping their heads stable with a little bit of tilt, and then from here, you're just going to finish, extend with the chest, and feeling like your pelvis is kind of going towards the target. A really good example is Justin and I were working yesterday, and we were able to get just his, what we call extension better, and his chip shots went from being okay to a lot better. So if I had 2 thoughts for us today, it would just be we're going to tilt, and then finish nice and tall, extended with our bodies. Now the last piece of our process today would be our routine, how we approach the shot. So when we get later into the session, we're going to have different types of shots we're going to hit, but through our routine, it's really important what we do with our eyes. So for example, if I'm going towards the white cone in the back, what I see far too often on the golf course is a player glancing towards our target up there, and then they're just sitting here taking swings. I want to be the reverse of that. I want us to melt into our target. If you watch Tiger Woods when he hits these shots, it just looks like he's staring it down the entire time. He's out there really looking at it, just looks down to make sure he's in the right spot, takes a swing, and just stares at it the entire time. So I want us to be really focused on our target, really focused on, we're not staring at the ball, we're going to be glancing at the ball, staring at our target. And then from there, we're going to start picking landing spots in the right club. All right, any questions before we get started? All right, so we have a station set up for each of us. We're going to split up to these alignment rod stations.
Which one's the lefties?